I'm thanking you because I always just count my blessings and I always expect to see a miracle and I always expect to see a blessing every day or at least hope for one. Never know what it is. And sometimes it's big ones, sometimes it's small ones.
Hi.
State your name for the record.
Haley Salisbury.
All right. How much do you have at this point?
With October now, Your Honor, and the court cost, the total due is $6,043.55.
Really? How are you going to get that paid?
Not today, but sooner than later.
Pardon?
Sooner than later.
All right. Let me ask you this. I mean, the reality is you don't have the money, right? All right. Now, you understand that what that's going to mean is that you can't stay there.
Mhm.
All right. You get that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know if this was mentioned at the last hearing, but what plaintiff is asking for is plaintiff is not asking that you pay. Eventually they will.
Yeah.
But they're not asking that the money be paid. They're asking, they want their apartment back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you understand that? Okay. So then my question to you is how soon can you be out? Right?
Well, that's just whenever. We just want to both be off the lease without it like affecting our records anymore. Because we weren't even notified of the court dates. So
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're talking about two different things here. Okay. Okay. So we can kind of deal with part of that. And I'm not sure where that other part is coming from, but I have some suspicions. But the real question is when, okay, let's just look at this case. And you understand what I'm saying is they're not asking for a money judgment at this time for this amount. Okay.
Mhm.
That amount is just what would be a redemption amount, meaning that if you were going to stay, that's the amount you'd have to pay to the landlord. Follow me?
Mhm.
Okay. So then the question really is, in this instance, when can you move out? Okay. And have yourself someplace safe. And then you can always work with the landlord regarding this amount, regarding how you pay that amount back.
Well, he doesn't talk.
Who doesn't talk?
The landlord doesn't really talk.
Okay. You can write him a letter then.
Okay.
All right. I mean, write him a letter and propose whatever. I'm sure Ms. Dornbush will let them know that you had a benefit that you no longer have. Didn't expect it. I looked at the given your birthday is April, her benefit cut that May. That's why May didn't get paid.
Mhm.
And that's her whole, that's how you were living. Right. Okay. So you follow all of that?
Mhm.
Okay. Now you don't want anything that's going to affect your record or your whatever. If I had to rule on this case today, there would be a judgment. Okay. I don't want to see that against you either. I mean, I'll be honest with you, but that's what would happen. So we've got to kind of take it in pieces. So when do you think you could be out of the
Anytime they need.
Okay. You've got some place to go?
Um, I can, but if
Haley,
I'm
Haley,
paying,
Haley.
if it's October rent, then are they taking that off?
Pardon? Haley, what are you reading?
Nothing.
Yeah, no, you, hold on, darling. Look. Okay. What was the last thing that you said to me about October?
Um, so if I leave soon, or if I leave, are they gonna make me still pay October's rent, or will they take that off? Because they
Okay.
added October's rent to it.
Right, but listen. Yes, you would have, since you're occupying the premises, the simplest answer to that is you would have October that you would have to pay. All right.
So if they want me out today or tomorrow, then why would I
Hold on.
pay all?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up, slow down a little bit. Okay, Haley, please. Haley, when can you comfortably get yourself out of the property?
I don't know.
Back up one moment, Haley. Haley, do you have a place to go? Right. As we
I
sit
can't.
here, hold it. As we sit here right now, do you have a place to go?
Yeah, I have a friend.
Do you have stuff in there, Haley?
Have what?
You have things in the apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not
So,
nothing big.
pardon?
Not nothing big.
Have you talked to the friend about moving in at all?
I know she will let me stay for a little bit and then I can try to figure it out.
Okay. So, how much time would you need to try to make that first part happen?
Um, it just like if I'm already gonna have to pay October, then I might as
Okay.
well stay for
Haley,
October.
Haley.
I don't know.
Let me back up a moment, okay? On one thing. Your October rent, okay, and all the rent. Did you understand what I said? Where it's a redemption amount instead of a money judgment? Maybe I was talking to legalese. You understand what I mean by that? So, what the plaintiff is asking for is a judgment. They want their apartment back. And they're just saying that if you want to stay, this is the amount you have to pay. Okay? If you leave, you either got to pay that amount or you got to leave. That's what really happened. Okay? Now, the monetary amount that you're talking about, which I see is a big worry for you, right? That's where I'm talking about. You try to work something out with them to get that paid back at some point. Okay? But as I sit here right now, that's not really a concern for the court because they're just asking for the apartment back. And the only thing that I'm trying to do is try to figure out some way that the plaintiff can get their apartment back and
They can have their apartment.
you get a soft landing, because that's the other part that's important for the court.
And Your Honor, if I may just add a little something that hasn't been addressed yet, but maybe might provide a little bit of clarity to Miss Salisbury is that the sooner Spice Tree can get their apartment back, the sooner they can re-rent it. The sooner they
Yeah.
re-rent it, the sooner her obligation under the contract ends. Because right now, she has a lease agreement for, I believe, a year. And I don't know when it expires, but the sooner they can re-rent the unit, it means that's the less rent that they would accelerate under the contract that was
Yeah.
signed. And
Gotcha.
so if she, I understand her reasoning. If I'm going to be responsible for October, I might as well stay till the end of October. But the reality of that situation is that means the unit probably won't be re-rented by November 1, which means the November rent could be accelerated and potentially the December rent can be accelerated. So the sooner she's able to surrender possession, the sooner they can do what they need to do to re-rent the unit and then hopefully end her liability going forward.
What month did you move into the Spice Tree?
April.
April.
15.
Gotcha.
So,
Go ahead.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Why am I just now having to go to court for all of this?
What do you mean?
That's like the only question. It's just, I feel like I shouldn't owe this much. I feel like I never got any notice when I didn't pay the rent.
Your Honor, if I could also on that. So the non-payment demand was issued on August 14th. It was mailed to the unit. My client informs me that they did make delinquency calls. They did post notices on the door. They did send out balance due letters. Obviously, they sent the non-payment demand. And so they did attempt to communicate with both Ms. Salisbury and Mr. Wellesley without success. And I think the first time that there was contact by Mr. Wellesley, I believe, was after a September 16th email. And I believe him and his mother both did reach out to the complex at that time. And it was an email just to notify of the upcoming court date. So I'm not sure what happened as far as Miss Salisbury receiving that correspondence or receiving phone calls. I can't speak to that. I can just say from my client's position, they did attempt to reach out to both parties to discuss the balance that was due.
I didn't get no notices on the door in the mail until September. And then I didn't know of the court date until like 4 days before because
I got you. But Haley,
okay, I don't know.
no, just listen. Here's the reality, right? You knew you hadn't paid your rent, right?
Yeah, but if I would have had a court date sooner, I would have just been able to maybe get up with the rent. But they just let me have all of this added up. But it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Haley. If you could tell me how much you could come up with today, how much could you come
It's
up
fine.
with?
I don't want to stay there.
I didn't think you did. That's why I wasn't even exploring that with you. Okay? So, Haley, what date can you comfortably move by? Understanding that the earlier that you move and get your stuff out, give them back the apartment, the better off you're going to be.
And as soon as they want me to, if they want me to today, I will.
I'm going to do it this way. Is the other party here? He's not. Did he check in? Oh, that's right. Okay. Thank you, Emily. All right. So, Haley, if I gave you 10 days to get out, you'd be able to do that?
Mhm.
Well, it would be the 15th, so it's going to be a half a month. All right.
And Your Honor, something odd just happened that I just want to bring to the court's attention, as I think Your Honor is aware. You have a very loyal YouTube following as well as other social media following. And I received an email just a minute ago from one of your followers. Obviously, I cannot advocate on behalf of Miss Salisbury, Mr. Wellesley. I represent Spice Tree. But I wanted to bring to the court's attention that one of your YouTube followers has indicated that many of your followers want to help Miss Salisbury. And so I'm not really sure how to handle this, Your Honor. This is kind of a first for me that I'm being contacted directly, and I'm sure because my information is more readily locatable, findable on the internet. And so your followers have indicated to me that they want to assist her in making this payment. They have suggested starting a GoFundMe, and
That what?
starting a GoFundMe so they can assist Miss Salisbury in paying this balance. And as I've indicated, I can't advocate for any of this because I believe that may violate my ethical duties to Spice Tree, but I'm relaying to the court what has been communicated to me since I am now in receipt of this correspondence.
Okay. You understand that, Ms. Salisbury? Son.
A little bit.
I guess there are folks out there that want to help you out.
Okay, I don't know how it would work, but
Well, I'm not even sure how it works. I'm kind of surprised a little bit, but as Ms. Dornbush was. Okay. Haley, you really don't know what you want to do, and I get that. And you had a rough journey. There's no two ways about it. And you're trying to make the best decision that you can. And I get that. Okay. Like last week when I asked Ms. Dornbush if I could talk to you guys without her being present, and she said, okay, she had her admonition about her. She's representing her client. Would you have any problem if I were to talk to Ms. Dornbush in private along with the court liaison officer? Would you have any problem with that, Haley?
no.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to have a seat. This is my last case in this block, right? Okay. Have a seat. We'll get your call back up as soon as I come back out. Okay, Ms. Dornbush, I'm going to have to move I'm going to take my iPad and going back, and then you can actually start the two whenever that happens. So I want Ms. Dornbush and Amy.
Yes.
Court recalls the case of Spice Tree Apartments versus Haley Salisbury.
I come up.
What?
I come up.
Yeah, you come up. All right. I was going to suggest to you a conditional order dismissal on one of the things that I talked about counsel back there, but then realized that I cannot do it. And that's because the co-defendant is not present because he's at his father's funeral. And we knew that last week and do that. I know plaintiff does not want an adjournment, has stated her reasons why, and certainly she can state them again on the record if she wishes to. The court over that objection is going to adjourn it out 1 week. Okay. For that reason. And also, so that would be October 11th, 2024 at 1 p.m. And then at that point, Gavin Wesley will have the opportunity to be present. And then we will proceed from there.
Okay.
Ms. Dornbush, was there anything else you wanted to say regarding what the court just did in terms of the adjournment?
No, Your Honor, you noted my objection. I don't have authority to approve an additional adjournment on this. I did state my objection to the adjournment. But Your Honor has noted that, and so I've got nothing further.
Yeah, a couple of things. I want you to wait here. Amy, who is our court liaison officer, is going to be here, and I want you to talk with her.
Okay.
She, one of the things that we talked about is there are other options and things like that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to wait here until she gets here.
Okay.
We'll make sure you talk to her. Haley, I don't mean to chuckle about it, but bad things happen in life, right? Bad things happen in life.
Mhm.
And young lady, you've been through some things that are, in my mind, unimaginable. All right. Give yourself credit for being able to just even get up and stand up. Because there's a lot of folks that wouldn't be able to do that. I can't even, as I said, fathom that. I can't. Sometimes even sitting in this position, I can't get to, I don't have an understanding of what sometimes can just be evil in the world. I can't.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I do know. And that there is also a lot of good in the world. And that for each of those evil folks that are out there, I like to believe that there are 10 times more good people. I don't, and I sometimes when things happen, I don't ask why. I just accept that they do. And Ms. Dornbush had mentioned that these folks were saying they want to help. Those are the good people. No two ways about it. I then, if there wasn't a separation of church and state, I would just say God is good at times, all the time, but certainly at particular times. There's a gentleman, Colin, who's in the courtroom that I met a number of months ago. I didn't know that Colin and I's paths would cross. He had watched me or seen me on YouTube, and we had a brief conversation when it came up. I don't know why he's necessarily here today. I don't. There are things in life I can't explain. I don't know why. It just happens. But it happens for a good reason. And my understanding is he was in touch potentially with the people that were on YouTube, and he's kind of got that set up for you or headed and taught you how to do that. Is that right?
I didn't know anything about it until just now,
Right.
but I don't know how it all works or anything.
Then you and I are in the same boat. But I think, was Colin able to help you with that and get the links to you?
I
The
think they
gentleman here in the blue.
exchanged. Yeah.
Pardon?
Or I think Andrea gave him a link.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Colin, are you going to help her with that if you can?
Okay.
I really don't know Colin. Colin, thank you. That's all I could say is just thank you. While she may not think she is, I think this young lady's worth it. All right. And I think that whatever people can do to help you out, there's a reason for it happening. Haley, accept it. You've got that, you've got a lot of pride Sometimes that can get in the way. So set that aside for a little bit. Okay. Don't be so stubborn. And the reason I can tell you don't be so stubborn is you're an Aries like I am, and it just comes with us, right? And just let it work its way through. Okay.
Okay.
I have to believe, and I will constantly believe that good things will happen on all of this. Okay.
Okay.
When Amy gets here and you talk to her, she's going to talk about other options for you so that you have those options.
Okay.
All right. And then you can make a decision.
Okay. Thank you.
Haley, you're welcome. And you know what, Haley? I have to thank you. Do you even know what I'm thanking you for?
Oh.
I'm thanking you because I always just count my blessings in life. And I always expect to see a miracle, and I always expect to see a blessing every day, or at least hope for one. Never know what it is. Sometimes it's big ones, sometimes it's small ones. You coming here today, me getting to talk with you, me getting to meet you, that's my blessing for today. So I'm going to thank you for that.
Okay.
Okay. Have a seat. Amy will be here shortly, and we'll get you taken care of. All right. Thank you.
Yes, Judge, that's it for me today. Have a nice afternoon, Judge.
And also Gavin, is it Wesleyan? Wesley?
Well, it's
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Okay. Oh, they're in like 8 different screens. Okay. Yeah.
Total due at present with court costs $4,735.32.
Me and Haley have not been together since April due to relationship issues. And that's one of the reasons why my mom is involved. She's on the screen with her. She's done most of the talking between Haley and I. She's also communicated with Spice Tree Apartments. I lost my father in a tragic way on August 12th, so I haven't had the best headspace to do this on my own, and that's another reason why she's here. I'd already moved into an employee house free of rent and utilities in Ann Arbor on March 22nd. Before Haley moved in to her apartment on April 14th, she asked if I could help her by signing some documents on her behalf. With everything Haley has been through, I decided to sign the lease info because I did not want her to be homeless, and her staying at the employee house obviously wasn't an option.
Haley, what do you want to tell me?
I was approved for the lease based on a combination of my survivor benefits and Gavin's income. I was not in Ann Arbor yet because I was waiting to start a job here. I didn't start the job yet and do.
I would explain this part right here.
And then the rent hasn't been paid because I don't have the survivor's benefits anymore. They canceled it in June, and then I was in
Haley, hold on, stop for a moment. What kind of survivor's benefits did you have?
I don't know exactly. It was just like SER.
Did you lose a parent?
Yeah, both of them.
And your siblings.
You lost both parents. Okay. Go ahead, ma'am. You want to tell me something?
I really do, Your Honor. So I'm Andrea. I'm Gavin's mother. I've been helping Haley and Gavin navigate this situation. And I do want to clarify from the start, like Gavin did, that they're not dating and they haven't been in a relationship since April. I took on this role as a mentor and advocate to support Haley the past 2 years. I will get into that, and I know she feels uncomfortable with this, but even I'm frustrated and not sure how much more I have in my tank to help, and this young lady needs some help and guidance in this. 2 years ago, not only did she lose both her parents, she also lost her 3 baby siblings because her stepdad murdered everyone. It was a quadruple homicide. And I am mentioning this to you because though she was technically 18, and this is why I'm in her court, because this is all trickling down to today, and I'm not trying to just do the sympathy piece, but I need someone to understand this girl hasn't been guided. Because she was 18, she unfortunately, didn't have the assistance of anything else, but she was in that home and instantly became homeless because her home was a crime scene. And I didn't even know she was without a home already for 9 months at that point. Her and my son had been dating on and off, And once I discovered that, that's when I stepped in because she has literally no mother, no father. All of her siblings are gone except for her 2 younger surviving siblings. And this has been a lot. Now I'm gonna cry because she never cries. So I know she owes the rent. She knows she owes the rent. We're not disputing that. But in addition to that, I want you to know that's why my son helped in the way he did in signing this. And he truly, from what I'll show you in the evidence if you need, he did not know he was signing a lease. He simply thought, because
This case starts as what looks like a routine eviction hearing, but within minutes, it becomes something far more emotional. The judge is facing a young tenant who owes thousands of dollars in unpaid rent and admits she simply doesn't have the money to stay in the apartment. From a legal standpoint, the landlord's request is straightforward. They want possession of the property back. But as the hearing unfolds, it becomes clear that this isn't just a story about missed rent payments. The judge repeatedly tries to determine whether Haley has a safe place to go and whether she understands the consequences of the eviction process. At the same time, Haley appears overwhelmed, struggling to focus on the legal realities of the situation while worrying about the growing debt attached to the lease. What makes this hearing especially compelling is the judge's effort to separate the emotional crisis from the legal issues before the court. The question now becomes whether a solution can be found before a judgment permanently affects her future.
my life turned upside down and I am in absolutely no position to help like I otherwise would. And if that was the case, neither of them would be here today if I could help, but I can't. But I wanted you to know with the context with her because she's not going to share that with you on her own.
So if it's going to be a circumstance where you're going to be homeless, you got to tell me that.
Not maybe for a minute.
What do you mean by that? Haley, talk to me. All right.
Well, I would rather just not have to keep going through with this. 'Cause,
Okay,
like,
now hold.
I wanted to do it all on my own, so.
Losing parents is hard. You know, Haley, I can't even, I can't even wrap my head around that. Okay. But the one thing I can tell you both, life doesn't end because somewhere out there, while the world doesn't seem like it's a great place sometimes, I believe in the goodness of people. And so sometimes when you let that down and people can see it and you just sort of lay it bare, I got to believe, and I just do believe that there are people around that kind of help you out. Okay. And you just can't, you know, Haley, you don't have any reason to have any faith in humanity. You just don't. And I'm not going to try to tell you that you do. All right. But slowly but surely, maybe you'll begin to see it. So I'll adjourn it out a week. Haley, wait on the line. You and Gavin's mom are going to go into a private breakout with me as soon as I get finished with these few cases that I got here. Okay. Court does call the case of Spice Street Apartments versus Haley Salisbury. Hello.
Hi.
How much do you have at this point?
With October now, Your Honor, and the court cost, the total due is $6,043.55.
Really? How are you going to get that paid?
Not today, but sooner than later.
Pardon?
Sooner than later.
All right. I mean, the reality is you don't have the money, right? You understand that what that's going to mean is that you can't stay there. So then my question to you is, how soon can you be out? That amount is just what would be a redemption amount, meaning that if you were going to stay, that's the amount you'd have to pay to the landlord. If I had to rule on this case today, there would be a judge. I don't want to say that against you either. I mean, I'll be honest with you, but that's what would happen. You've got someplace to go?
I can, but if
Haley,
I'm paying,
Haley.
if it's October rent, then are they taking that off? Nothing.
Yeah, no, hold on, darling. Look, Haley, when can you comfortably get yourself out of the problem?
I don't know.
Ellie, do you have a place to go? Right. As we
I
sit
can't.
here, hold it. As we sit here right now, do you have a place to go?
Yeah, I have a friend.
Have you talked to the friend about moving in? Did you understand what I said where it's a redemption amount instead of a money judgment? Maybe I was talking to legalese. You understand what I mean by that? So what the plaintiff is asking for is a judgment. They want their apartment back. And they're just saying that if you want to stay, this is the amount you have to pay. Okay, well, let me ask you this, Haley. If you could tell me how much you could come up with today.
And Your Honor, something odd just happened that I just want to bring to the court's attention, as I think Your Honor is aware. You have a very loyal YouTube following as well as other social media following. And I received an email just a minute ago from one of your followers. Obviously, I cannot advocate on behalf of Miss Salisbury, Mr. Wellesley. I represent Spice Tree. But I wanted to bring to the court's attention that one of your YouTube followers has indicated that many of your followers want to help Miss Salisbury. And so I'm not really sure how to handle this, Your Honor. This is kind of a first for me that I'm being contacted directly, and I'm sure because my information is more readily locatable, findable on the internet. And so your followers have indicated to me that they want to assist her in making this payment. They have suggested starting a GoFundMe, and
That what?
starting a GoFundMe so they can assist Miss Salisbury in paying this balance. I mean, as I've indicated, I can't advocate for any of this because I believe that may violate my ethical duties to Spice Tree, but I'm relaying to the court what has been communicated to me since I am now in receipt of this correspondence.
Do you understand that, Ms. Salisbury? Son,
A little bit.
I guess there are folks out there that want to help you out. Haley, I don't mean to chuckle about it, but bad things happen in life, right? And young lady, you've been through some things that are, in my mind, unimaginable. Give yourself credit for being able to just even get up and stand up, because there's a lot of folks that wouldn't be able to do that. I can't even, as I said, fathom that. I can't. Sometimes even sitting in this position, I can't get to, I don't have an understanding of what sometimes can just be evil in the world. I can't.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I do know. And that there is also a lot of good in the world. And that for each of those evil folks that are out there, I'd like to believe that there are 10 times more good people. I don't, and I sometimes when things happen, I don't ask why. I just accept that they do. And Ms. Dornbush had mentioned that these folks were saying they want to help. Those are the good people. No two ways about it. I then, if there wasn't a separation of church and state, I would just say God is good at times, all the time, but certainly at particular times. You know what, Haley? I have to thank you. You even know what I'm thanking you for?
Oh.
I'm thanking you because I always just count my blessings in life. And I always expect to see a miracle, and I always expect to see a blessing every day, or at least hope for one. Never know what it is. And sometimes it's big ones, sometimes it's small ones. You coming here today, me getting to talk with you, me getting to meet you. That's my blessing for today. Court does call the case of Spice Tree versus Haley Salisbury. Haley, how are you today?
Okay.
You're good? All right. You wish to continue to reside in the apartment, right?
If I can.
Ms. Dornbush, I'm going to go into a breakout room with you and Haley and talk to the two of you, okay? and do that, because I think you might have some information and I also have some. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I had an opportunity to talk with Haley regarding this matter with reference to payment of the arrearage as well as what may be the lease. There were funds that were collected, and I don't need to mention the amount, but there were funds that were collected. Talked with Haley, and I think she's in agreement that there's going to be 16,000 that needs to be deposited with the court into court escrow, and that can be done by certified funds. All right. The other thing, in speaking with her, is right down the street. She's going to go down to the University of Michigan Credit Union and open an account there. I'd like that so that you have proof of the opening of that account today, if you can.
Okay.
They're quick. Okay. All right. You have a license, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I think that's all they need. All right. And so you need to open an account there. Then they also have folks that, financial folks that can help you with questions and the like and what you have on that. All right. Also an issue with an agency we're gonna try to get you in touch with regarding furnishings and the like, a nonprofit here, and see what we can do along those lines. We're also going to give you the number to the University of Michigan University of Michigan Legal Clinic to kind of help you manage yourself through some of the legal issues. And I think that was everything we talked about. Is that right, Haley?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Ms. Dornbush, was there anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor. I think we've covered everything, and hopefully we'll have some additional updates by Friday.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Haley, wait a moment. We'll get all that information to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Court's in recess. Court calls the case of Spice Tree Apartments versus Haley Salisbury and also Gavin Westling. Hello.
Hi.
State your name, sir.
Gavin Wellesley.
Wellesley. All right. So where are we on this?
Um,
Well,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. I'll let Ms. Dornbush speak first, and then we'll.
the total
ahead.
we're at today, Your Honor, is the $6,143.
$6,143.
That's correct.
Okay. So the other thing didn't come through.
Unfortunately, no, it's not looking
All right.
good.
That's fair enough. We get it. All right. So you look like you want to tell me something. What do you want to tell me?
No.
Yes, you do. You're looking like you want to say something.
No.
No? Gets up here and then she clams up. All right. So did you get your account open?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The rest of the funds were put into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Or we're still working on transferring it, but a lot of them did, yeah.
What does that mean?
So there's like limits on how much you can transfer through apps within like a week period of time or whatever. It's all confusing.
But the account is set up
Yes.
for that's in your name.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And so when do you anticipate you'd have all of that transferred over?
Probably within, I think there's more ways around it. We were trying to do either send it right to the bank, like Zelle, or I don't know. There's ways, I guess, soon. I don't know exactly.
No, that was a 20-year-old answer you just gave me.
Oh,
I get it. No, I get it. That's okay. So here's what we're gonna do. So with her, we'll have to figure this all out. But if we added November's rent, no, let's do this. If you were to add November and December rent, how much would that be, Ms. Dornbush?
One moment, Your Honor. The rent's $12.35, Your Honor. So times two. There's two static utility charges at $16.50 a month times two. And then the water sewer is no more, from what I can tell, than $30 per month. So if we just, excuse me, $60 per month. So if we went with that number times two, so 26.23 added on to the current balance. 61. And it looks like $8,766.55.
How much? Cents?
8766.55.
All right, got it. 5.5. Okay.
I'm gonna just double check my math, just to be safe, Judge.
Oh, no, I have two staff members. That's exactly what they got. So I
Okay.
think you're good. So here's what we're going to do while you solve that other part of the problem. Haley, we'll have to figure out the rest of it. But what we're going to do is, so you can take a bit of a breath, we're going to pay up through December.
Okay.
That sound good? Are you just nodding at me because you're going to agree with the guy in the black robe, or that you want to do?
No, it sounds good. I just don't want it to be a problem with them.
For who?
I don't want them to like worry or anything.
Who?
The apartment.
I know. So what I'm going to do is, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release 87766 to Spike Street. Okay.
And is that all the late fees too?
What?
Is that included? Like, I don't know how much all the late fees add up to.
Which late fees? Really?
I'm guessing there's late fees for each.
Okay, just listen. You owe right now, you said 61.43
And
75
55 cents. Yep.
and 55. Okay, so right now what you owe is 61.43.55.
Mhm.
Got that? What I just hit, the calculation that we just went through were your rent for November and December, and those charges that you have, like water, the water charge, and you have some other static charges that are in. So everything, put that all together. So your back rent and everything through December, you would owe $8,766. So there's not going to be any late. I mean, they've got all the late fees and everything from previous, that's already in there
Mhm.
in the other one. You follow me?
Mhm. I know that.
Okay, then what were you asking me about late fees?
Nothing.
No, tell me you're trying to ask me something. Just tell me.
No, it's fine. I don't know.
Haley, I think you figured out. I'm not as stupid as I look. So just, if you got a question, just ask. I'll figure it out. Even if you don't think it's going to come out right, just ask me the question.
I don't know exactly what I was just making sure that it was those months added to.
Right. But you won't have late fees if we pay it for November and December.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to release that from the escrow. You still have a sizable chunk in escrow, right? But I'm going to adjourn this out to November 1st. There's a reason why I'm doing that, okay? Really. At that time, it may be that this case then gets dismissed. But you're going to have to make a decision about whether or not you want the rest of your lease paid up.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me? Because her lease runs through what date?
I don't have the lease in front of me, Judge, but her move-in date was mid-April, so maybe the end of March,
Okay.
possibly.
That sound about right? That it runs through March? It runs through May?
That could be, Your Honor. They may have signed a slightly longer lease, and if you bear with me just
I
I do have it. I just didn't have it open.
I
You
moved
moved in your
15th.
birthday month of April.
Yeah, the 15th. And if it's 12 months, then it should be.
Oh, actually, Your Honor, it looks like it was a 14-month lease and it expires on June 16th.
Gotcha.
They definitely said it was 12.
What'd you say?
They definitely said it was 12.
Okay, but you got a 14-month lease,
Mhm.
right? And so here's what here's what you got to think about. And I'll need an answer by November 1st. This other amount that I have in escrow, I'm going to hold that, right? And then you are going to have to decide how far you want paid out on this lease so you don't have to worry about it. Okay? But I'm going to let you I want you to think about it and then let you make that decision. Okay? A great deal of the money that's here is really for that purpose. Stabilize you a little bit. Okay? Just want you to think it through and then you're going to give me what your decision is. And then I'll tell you what mine is. But I'll let you speak first next time. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to release that amount. You don't have to worry. You're going to be paid through December. Then we're going to try to figure out if your lease ends in June, how that's going to be paid while you get yourself settled. Got it?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I got to get her to actually use the words. Do you have any other questions?
No.
No?
I do, Your
Are you-
Honor.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just curious, since we have kind of the money for this, is there any way I could find out whether I'll still be on the lease or if there's a way I can come off it without it affecting my record or so and so kind of?
Ms. Dornbush, you don't have an answer to that, do you?
I do, actually.
At this point, the hearing takes a completely unexpected turn. After learning more about Haley's circumstances, the courtroom is no longer focused solely on unpaid rent. Instead, attention shifts to what happens when someone experiences overwhelming personal tragedy and then finds themselves trying to navigate legal and financial responsibilities without a support system. Legally, the landlord still has rights that must be protected. The unpaid balance remains real, and the lease obligations don't simply disappear because life becomes difficult. But courts also recognize that every case involves human beings, not just numbers on a ledger. What stands out here is the judge's attempt to balance compassion with accountability. Rather than rushing toward an immediate judgment, he begins exploring options that could stabilize the situation while still respecting the landlord's interests. And here's a question for you. If you were in the judge's position, would you focus strictly on the lease terms, or would you take personal circumstances into account when deciding how to move forward? Let's get back to the hearing and see what happens next